Hello everyone, I'm Chief Alfonso Morales, Milwaukee Police Department. I'm here with our executive staff from the Milwaukee Police Department. Also here joining us is Mr. Tracy Dent. Before I go on with the particulars of what occurred today, Tracy Dent is here from the city of Milwaukee, supporter of community engagement between the city and police. And he did a heck of a job at trying to help mediate between this crowd and law enforcement to push for a peaceful resolution, which it did not, and I'm here to discuss that. But I just want to thank him for all the efforts that he did in the middle. We really need leadership like his out here in the city of Milwaukee, helping push for peaceful resolutions. Between Monday, June 22nd, and today, June 23rd, Milwaukee Police responded to multiple incidents on the 2100 block of North 40th Street to check for two missing teenagers. Neither teenager was located at the residence that were checked on the 2100 block of North 40th Street, and they checked on multiple occasions. This morning, approximately 10 o'clock a.m., police were dispatched to a trouble with subject call, where individuals attempted to enter a residence and check for these missing teenagers. Upon arrival, officers did check the location and again found the teenagers not to be there. Approximately 11 o'clock a.m., officers responded back to this location for a ShotSpotter activation. As they arrived, they discovered that there was an exchange of gunfire between someone in the residence and somebody from a group of individuals that were attempting to gain entry into that residence. Additional officers responded to investigate this shots fired investigation. And while officers were on scene investigating, the crowd began to grow and become unruly. They began to throw large bricks at officers, which resulted them in requesting for additional help. This continued for a while. As officers continued to get additional help from police, a couch was set on fire, a vehicle was set on fire, and ultimately a residence was set on fire. During this, we know that one firefighter was injured, minor injuries, and 7 total police officers received non-life-threatening injuries. As this was occurring, and officers were attempting to secure fire department personnel to extinguish this fire, several shots were fired within the crowd. 3 individuals were shot during this event, none by police. Those 3 victims are at a local hospitals getting help for their non-life-threatening injuries. And we're still investigating that. Currently, we have located one of the 2 missing teenagers, and we're still attempting to locate the other one. I can tell you that we have not received the cooperation we would expect from family. This whole chain of events could have been avoided. And my heart goes out for the people that live in this community. As I was out there, I was able to talk to residents. There's people that want to live in normalcy. There's people that are living in these communities that are being affected. Some people can say property doesn't matter, but if you live in this area of the city of Milwaukee, the houses are very close. You allow one house to burn, that means you allow the entire block to burn. And there's people in these residents that aren't going to move. They choose to live where they choose. And that's what we're all here for, is to preserve life. We cannot let this stuff happen. Thank you.
Chief, you had multiple people in the crowd upset and getting angry with police. They told us many, many times they don't believe Milwaukee police care or investigate when black children go missing. And we also heard from multiple people in the crowd that a lot of those houses on that street have sex trafficking and have proved to be sex trafficking houses. Can you speak to those 2 points?
Absolutely. We investigate the information that is given to us. We can't allow an unruly crowd determine what that investigation is. What you had today is vigilantism. You had people take the law into their own hands and run off of information that has not been proven. We need to investigate that. That's what the police is here for. We need to determine what crimes were committed. When you don't get the cooperation from the families, from the witnesses, to allow us to push forward, how can we give a proper investigation the attention that it deserves?
What about the sex trafficking houses?
That's what we're getting at. We have to determine that. Right now, there's no information that can give us, provide that to be factual. We have to investigate that.
Chief, we've looked back at the records. It appears that there have been 30 calls for service at that address since 2017. Wouldn't you consider that a problem house? And how come it wasn't the focus of something before?
We have to look at the calls for service. As I stated today, we have responded to that house in that location multiple times in the last 2 days. In addition to that, is it the same family that's living there since 2017? There's a lot of information that you got to look at and not just say, well, there was 100 calls for service in the last 10 years at that house. So we have to be allowed to conduct our investigation and not chase a crowd and take that information from that crowd to be factual. The police need to determine the facts and provide that to the courts.
There was some talk this morning that some children were removed from the house. Did police step in and remove any children from that house this morning?
Well, we were at there's a couple of residents, so it determines what you mean by house. But we've been there all day today. And as I said, coming and going, trying to diffuse things and conduct an investigation based on the information that we're being provided. There were some people that were removed from that residence. That investigation, as we find out more, we'll provide it to you. Because right now, it's about determining what is actually factual.
People or children?
People, I can't give you the ages of the people because I don't have that information. So.
Chief, did any gas get deployed? Because we saw people with welts on their legs. So maybe the canteens that's holding that gas's deployed might have hit them. And how did people get shot in the meantime? Did police ever fire any guns?
Well, we did not fire firearms. We did fire off less lethal, and we did fire smoke. And understand that as this fire was occurring, we needed to secure the fire department. There were, you'll see video of people throwing bricks, not rocks, bricks at police officers. We had 7 police officers that were injured. In addition to that, we were trying to provide aid to a person, one of the first 3 victims that were shot in the crowd. We had to go out there and now do a rescue in the middle of an angry crowd. So imagine how difficult that was. Imagine how difficult it is for the fire department, or it was for the fire department, to put out a fire when there's bricks and all other type of projectiles being thrown at not only the police but the fire department. So this was a pretty chaotic scene. And yes, we did use less lethal. Okay?
When you say less lethal, you mean rubber bullets in that case?
We will explain that later as we are able to get the briefings from the rest of the team. But thank you very much, and if you have any other questions, we can pass them on here. Thank you.
Thank you.